What happens when you mash up a superhero with a Pal World creature? Let's find out. Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm an artist and I love drawing weird pictures here on the internet. Today we're doing some mashups. We have some interesting pairs that go together. Things I've never heard of and things I've heard of too many times. It should be a lot of fun. I, of course, am trying to grow my channel. I am working to get to 1,000 subscribers. This is the year we're marching to 1,000 subscribers. You can help by hitting that subscribe button and liking this video, sharing it with some people who you think might like it too. For now, let's get to the art and enjoy some character mashups. Daedream and Batman. Now, at this point, I knew nothing about Pal World, but I knew a lot about Batman. So I looked up some reference images on Daedream and got to work sort of mashing them together as best I could. In truth, it really became about putting the Pal in the costume. So I had the cowl, the iconic Batman belt, the cape, the gloves, you know all the stuff, on the cute and adorable Daedream. I'm a big fan of Batman. I read a fair amount of the graphic novels that came out sort of in the late 90s and early 2000s, around the time of the Dark Knight films. And yeah, I really love it. My favorite has to probably be The Long Halloween, and particularly Dark Victory, that sort of tells the story of how Robin came to join Batman after the isolation he felt being betrayed by Two-Face. It's a really good story. Really love it. I have a bit of a sweet spot for some of the reclamation work that Grant Morrison did, trying to make old Batman comics more serious and real, like Za Unrule Batman. Do you know that one? Anyways, do you read comics? I haven't kept up with Batman as of late, although it looks really cool. I've been reading some Marvel and having a good time with that, trying to catch up on X-Men stuff, but, you know, comics are always coming out, and you gotta take the time to do it. Oh, I've also been reading Hellboy. It's a great comic. In terms of Pal World, I'm sure I've got lots of things to say about it, but I haven't really played it. I've heard lots of things, but I haven't had a chance to give it a try. I really like some of the designs, lots of the colors they chose, and interesting styles, so I'm pretty happy exploring Daedream here. I think it looks pretty great in the cowl and costume. Maybe we need more Pal superheroes. I'm not entirely sure. I did find it was an interesting process trying to figure out mashups. This was the first one I did that day, and so it really was a process of trying to think through, how do you mash up two characters like this? I think I could have gone further, but again, it was my first one for the day. I was sort of warming up and trying to figure out the idea. And so what we came up with, I think, is pretty nice. I hope you enjoyed Daedream and Batman. A Lego minifig and Mickey Mouse. So this has to exist, right? Like, I didn't look it up. I didn't try to find out if there was one, but it's gotta exist. I tried anyways. I worked on keeping the core features of the minifig while incorporating those iconic ears and, of course, the style choices of Mickey Mouse. I used to play with Lego so much when I was a kid. Did you have one of those bins that was just like random pieces? I loved like knowing I was looking for a specific piece and then just like swooshing through it and magically finding the piece. That was like the Zen moment for Lego. I still buy kits because like they're really fun to make. We recently bought and built a Ferris wheel, which was really cool. My wife and I like to build Lego together. Aren't we sweet? What's your favorite Lego build out there? I found drawing a Lego figure to be a really interesting prospect. Exactly how to put the hands and the head and everything was a real challenge to figure out. But once I got that work in there, I was able to switch over to the line work and really try to translate those core shapes into something that was readable. Because, you know, readability is what it's all about. Back in the day, I used to want to be an animator for Disney. I don't know if I've talked about it before here on the channel, but it was my dream goal. I love all the things classic Disney animation. And while I don't work for Disney and I'm not an animator, I think what I'm doing right now is pretty close to that, which is kind of cool to be able to say that I'm doing the thing I wanted to do when I was younger. And I have a lot of fun doing this. I probably more fun than I would being an animator and sort of being stuck in that repetitive world of animation. Not that animation is awful, but it's hard work, you know? And yeah. What's your favorite Disney movie? My like pure favorite is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, it's a pretty brutal content in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It makes it a pretty hard film to actually watch. But there's this moment in Disney history where like they're coming off of Lion King and they're coming off of Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid, Aladdin, all those like core mid-90s, early 90s Disney films. And for whatever reason, someone says, go nuts with Hunchback of Notre Dame. And they go crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's one of the reasons why I love it so much. Anyways, this is going to be our Lego figure and Mickey Mouse. The Grim Reaper and Meowth. Two dark figures, villains in their own world. Which is actually not true. I suppose the Grim Reaper is more of a part of life. Sandman-esque partner on the journey towards the next phase. Meowth has a real grim vibe, though, I feel. You know, not just because he was like a fun character, villainy thing, but it lends well to a dark cloak in his sort of style. And so that's what I went about doing, putting Meowth in that grim sort of cloak with a scythe, really just working on a nice pose, making it work. And we return to the topic of Pokemon. We talk about it fairly often these days because we did a bunch of Pokemon from memory. Meowth was a character in the TV show, but I never really watched the Pokemon show. It was just not quite the right time for me. I was a little older when Pokemon came out for the first time, and I played the first game casually on my friend's Game Boy, but I didn't really get into the show much at all. Did you watch the show when you were growing up? What's your favorite episode of the show? Should I give it a try now? Like, have I passed the point in my life where that's going to be ultimately relevant? I'm not really sure. And yeah, is there an episode that's really worth watching? What's the one that makes you like cry the most? Share that with me. I like a good emotional appeal. So yeah, once we had the sketch done, we started working on the line art. And you know, Pokemon line art is really fun to get in there. Get those eyes just right. Build out those expressions. And yeah, I'd already drawn this cloak. There are a few pieces of Meowth that are still missing, like his medallion and his whiskers. And I go about adding those after we finish up the line art, just because the core shapes are good and I want to get them in. And then I can sort of erase and find the spots for those. Grim Reaper is an interesting figure. I read some of the Discworld series recently, really falling in love with that work. And the character of Death is so fascinating. Is it Light Fantastic? That's the first book? I think it is. Anyways, when I read that and read Death's part in that story, little though it may be, it was just like so funny to me. And all of his work is so incredible. Terry Pratchett is the author of the Discworld series. And I just really am enamored by the work that he does. It makes me laugh, makes me think, and it's really cool. Have you read the Discworld series? Is there another fantasy series I should really get into? I'm not really familiar with the genre beyond, you know, the classics. I think our Meowth is coming together here. Let's check out our final reveal on Meowth. And that's it for our merger of characters. We mashed two together at a time and came out with some interesting prospects. I hope you enjoyed the video. As you may know or may not know, I'm an artist and I like having fun drawing pictures here on the internet. If you want to join me in that, please subscribe. I'm on the march to 1,000 subscribers, and you can help by liking and sharing and doing all those various things. I have a few more mashups to do in another video, so yeah, make sure you don't miss it. And yeah, share this with a friend. It would be great. All of that is, you know, the business side of things. The truth is, I'm just a person who really likes putting smiles on people's face, and I hope this video made you smile. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And of course, till next time, keep being awesome.